Hello, it's Ian Cameron, sports handicapper for Sportsbook Review, and we are doing our MLB Overnight Line segment back after a mini hiatus. We took Friday off, but we're back at it today, and we're going to take a look at the games taking place on Sunday, May the 15th. A couple of games that I have circled to talk about here in this segment. We're going to start by looking at the San Diego Padres as they take on the Milwaukee Brewers at Miller Park, and I think we've got two very, very shaky, slippery, hard to trust starting pitchers here in this particular game. Cesar Vargas getting the start here for the San Diego Padres. He's been very hittable, also struggled with control quite a bit since joining this rotation. A 5.79 ERA for Vargas in 2 road starts, and that's important with these San Diego pitchers. You want to know how these pitchers are performing specifically on the road, because pitching at Petco Park on a regular basis and pitching away from there, it's like night and day. There's a big time difference, and you want to be aware of how these guys are performing away from a very pitcher friendly ballpark like Petco. And for Vargas, it's been a struggle. He's allowed 6 runs on 14 hits in 9.1 innings of work over those 2 road starts. And the fact is, even though his overall ERA is 3.54, which is decent, it's reasonable, it's serviceable, that ERA stat, but his FIP 4.35, his xFIP 4.94, his SIERA is 5.35. So all of those key advanced metrics and peripheral statistics for Cesar Vargas indicate that he's a pitcher that's likely going to struggle moving forward, and a guy that maybe doesn't quite have the stuff to get outs consistently here at the major league level. On the other hand, we've got Zach Davies. He remains a bet against pitcher for me. I've talked about him on more than one occasion already this season. For Milwaukee, he has been really, really bad. He has a 6.29 ERA, allowed 18 runs on 33 hits and 24.1 innings pitched. He's just been getting smacked around repeatedly, and I don't like the fact that he's got 4.81 walks per 9 innings, and his strikeouts are 5.18 per 9 innings. So his walk rate per 9 innings almost as high as his strikeouts per 9 innings. That tells you he's having command issues. That means he's not missing a ton of bats. Another indicator of that is the fact that his swinging strike rate, it's down at 6.8%. That is extremely low, and that tells you he's just not fooling many hitters and not missing a ton of bats. So, San Diego's lineup, very spotty. We know that. This is not a prolific lineup. It's not a potent offense by any stretch of the imagination. That being said, they're facing a very, very hittable pitcher here, and at least we did see the Padres hit better in their series earlier this week against the Cubs, so maybe that gives us an opportunity here to believe that even this San Diego lineup can have success against Zach Davies. I expect them to. I think we're going to get some runs in this game, total sitting at 9. I'd look to play that game over the total. It's worth noting, too, the over 4-1 in Zach Davies' 5 starts this season. So we'll look to play that game over the total. San Diego, Milwaukee on Sunday. San Francisco, they take on Arizona on Sunday. It's a series finale between these NL West rivals. We're going to have Matt Cain against Ruby De La Rosa. And Matt Cain, what to make of him? He's a guy that has been a bet against pitcher for me all season long. However, he does deserve, we got to give credit where credit's due, and he is coming off one of his best outings of the season against Toronto. Yielded just 2 runs in 8 innings, but the problem is that a blip on the radar or a sign of a real legitimate turnaround for Matt Cain? I think it's too soon to tell. What I do know is that Matt Cain on the road, he's got a lot to prove, because he's had 2 road starts already this season, and boy, he got hammered in both of them, allowing 12 runs on 13 hits in 10.2 innings pitched on the road. So it's been a real struggle for Matt Cain away from AT&T Park. That's definitely a red flag for me here as he takes them out on Sunday in Arizona. And on the other hand, you've got Ruby De La Rosa making the start here for the Diamondbacks. He has had consistency issues. He's gone back and forth from bullpen work to being a starting pitcher. Arizona really wants this guy to be in their rotation. They think he's got starting pitching quality, enough quality of pitches to be a good starting pitcher in the major leagues. And De La Rosa, after a real slow start to the season, he had 3 real rough outings to begin 2016. He's now put 5 solid starts in a row together, including back-to-back really good outings here at Chase Field. De La Rosa facing St. Louis and Pittsburgh in his last 2 home starts here at Chase Field allowed just a single run in 13 innings pitched over those 2 starts. So a real positive sign, maybe a sign that De La Rosa maturing and starting to turn a corner here with this Arizona Diamondbacks team, and maybe a sign that he can still be an effective starting pitcher. He definitely has been an effective starting pitcher in recent games, pitching much better than he did early in the season. And it's worth noting, this San Francisco Giants lineup, they've been in almost a week-long offensive funk right now. They've scored 4 runs or less in 6 straight games. I mean, even in the Friday night game of this San Francisco-Arizona series against Shelby Miller, who we talked about earlier this week, struggling with command and control issues. They hit into a ton of double plays, stranded a ton of runners against him. So it really goes to show you that not everything has been solved yet with this San Francisco lineup, still not hitting as well as they're capable of. So I think De La Rosa probably has a good chance to turn in a solid outing here. You got Arizona as a small home favorite around minus 120 currently in this game. I'd look to lay that reasonable price with the Diamondbacks. I definitely trust De La Rosa a little bit more than I trust Matt Cain. And again, the Giant Bats still having a tough time getting going in the last several games. So I think Arizona's got a chance to pick up the victory here on Sunday in the series finale. Quick hitter style at another couple of games. Minnesota takes on Cleveland. Duffy against Bauer. Bauer, much better outing last time out. It's always a little Jekyll and Hyde what you're going to get from Trevor Bauer, but he was much better in his last start against Houston. And Minnesota, to me, there's nothing to like with the Twins right now. They're a dead team walking. Their season is practically over. That's hard to believe. When you're this bad, like the Minnesota Twins have been, the season's over. It's May 14th and their season's practically done, finished. You can't climb back into the playoff race with the record they have. So where the motivation comes to keep, fighting the good fight if you're the Twins, I don't know. But I know one thing's for sure, in this matchup, especially with Bauer off a pretty good start last time out, I think the Twins could be in a little bit of trouble here. It's not a great price, and I'm not overly fond of laying minus 145, minus 150 on a routine basis, but if there's one price of a higher favorite or a higher line that you may want to endorse on Sunday, it could be Cleveland, because Minnesota just not a lot going for them right now. And also an interesting game to keep an eye on is Oakland and Tampa Bay, because Sonny Gray, the ace of this Oakland rotation, I think there's something wrong with him. He's really struggled now in 3 straight starts, getting smacked around on a repeated basis. I think there might be an injury involved here. It would not surprise me to see Sonny Gray end up on the DL very soon, because to me he's just not pitching like we've been accustomed to seeing him. So I keep thinking there might be an injury going on with Sonny Gray that's making him struggle the way he has. Matt Moore, on the other hand, for the Rays, he's had some bumps in the road lately too, but he has pitched pretty well for the most part this season here at home at Tropicana Field. I was hoping for a bit of a better price with Tampa Bay in that game, looking to go against Sonny Gray, because I just don't think he's all that right at the moment. I do think that he might end up on the DL sooner rather than later at this point, with just how badly he's getting hit. He's getting hit hard in the last couple of starts, but at the same time, it's priced pretty well, in my opinion, with Tampa Bay minus 135, minus 140. So a little lean to the Rays there, but didn't really have the price that I wanted to pull the trigger with Tampa in that game. And also Houston-Boston. I was looking to play that over the total, but very difficult to play it over at 10.5. I mean, the odds makers have clearly adjusted to the way the Boston Red Sox as a team are swinging the bat right now. You've got 2 mediocre starters on the mound at best, and Davinsky for Houston, and the old retread Sean O'Sullivan. I can't believe I'm seeing this guy back in the major leagues in a starting rotation again. I mean, he's just Mr. slop bucket type of baseball from Sean O'Sullivan. I mean, he's just trying to hang in there and do the best he can, but he's clearly a guy that I don't trust, and probably a ballpark like Fenway Park where he can show how hittable. I think he gave up 12 hits in his first start with Boston at Fenway Park earlier this week in just 6 innings, so he's a very hittable pitcher. I think that game could be high scoring and has a good chance to go over, but no bargains on that total, 10.5. So I was disappointed to see the total being that high. That being said, would still lean to that Astros-Red Sox game on Sunday to go up and over that total. So that will do it for me. Taking a look at the MLB overnight lines for Sunday, May the 15th. I'm sports handicapper Ian Cameron for Sportsbook Review. As always, check out the website sportsbookreview.com where you can get live odds, tons of great betting articles, and videos on a daily basis to help you be a profitable and winning sports bettor. So until next time, I'm Ian Cameron. Enjoy the games and good luck.